More than 4 decades ago, a group of us, led by Anna Halprin, were exploring ritual dance. That is, dance designed to accomplish a purpose in the world. We were inspired by Native American rituals, rain dances, hunting dances, wedding dances, but we didn't want to be derivative. We wanted to create rituals for ourselves and for our time. And as an outgrowth of this work, Anna Halprin and her husband, Lawrence Halprin, undertook a workshop in Marin County called A Search for Living Myths and Rituals Through Dance and the Environment. And at that time, 4 murders had been committed on the trails of Mount Tamalpais, and the sheriff had actually closed the mountain to hikers, fearing that this trailside killer would strike again. And that reality was the thing that people in Anna and Larry's workshop were most concerned about. And since we didn't know anything else that we could do, we decided we would do a ritual. The first part of the ritual happened in a theater, and the dancers undertook one of the myths. They portrayed one of the myths of Mount Tamalpais, and then the killer ritually burst in at the back of the theater, ran up to the stage, raged around a bit, and then the dancers captured the killer and ritually liberated the mountain. And the next day, we got special permission from the sheriff's department to go to the top of the mountain, walk down on its trails, and do offerings at the places where the women had been killed, planting trees. And actually, some of the relatives of the folks who had been killed were with us. When we got to the bottom, everybody felt better. They felt like, well, at least we did something. But then, within a week, an anonymous phone tip led directly to the capture of the killer and the liberation of the mountain. And so some folks said, oh, did we do that? But Anna, in her wisdom, said, if you pray for something with all you've got, if you pray as powerfully as you can, and your prayer is answered, that's not the time to question how prayer works. That's the time to go on praying. And shortly after that, a 105-year-old Huichol shaman, Don Jose Matsua, arranged to do a Dance of the Deer ceremony at Anna's studio on the shoulder of Mount Tamalpais. And after his ceremony, Anna told him about what we had done and asked him what he thought of it. And he said, well, what you did was good, and that is a very powerful and sacred mountain. But if you really want to be successful, you have to repeat it for 5 years. And so we took his injunction seriously and set off on the process that we have been doing now for 40 years. And after we had gone back and done events for 5 years, it was the time of greatest tension between the United States and the Soviet Union. Ronald Reagan was talking about building Star Wars and winning the Cold War, and there's great fear of war between the United States and Russia. And so we decided to do a peace dance. We said we had danced for peace on Mount Tamalpais. We were going to dance for peace in the world. And Anna recognized that she needed to have a certain scope to do this. And so we got 100 dancers to participate in a workshop for a week and learned a dance that was called Circle the Earth, and then presented it in a gymnasium with 1,000 witnesses. And people were very moved by this dance and wanted to do it other places. And so it traveled around the world and did in fact circle the earth, and was presented a few miles away from the Berlin Wall, just before the Berlin Wall came down. And people were so interested in the dance and wanting to do it that they wanted to have a way that they could carry this on. But it was too complex to try to get to do a week's workshop. And so Anna took one of the scores from Circle the Earth. It was called the Earth Run, and proposed that people all around the world could use that score and put their own beginning and their own ending to it. And that could be done as a planetary dance. And so we have been doing the planetary dance ever since, for now 35 more years. This is the 40th year that we've done it. And thousands of people have participated in scores of places around the world, with many different themes. But each time the planetary dance is done, we have a theme for the dance as a whole, and that theme has always been that the planetary dance is a dance for peace among people and peace with the earth. But then in addition to that, we formulate a theme that's appropriate for the year in which we were doing it, and ask each individual to think about how, for them, that theme is something that is of personal significance to them, that they could dance for that in relationship to that theme and for something that was important in their life. And so this year, because of the unique situation we're in, we've chosen the theme Justice and Peace. And we can't have the dance on Mount Tamalpa because, again, it's been closed, this time because of the pandemic. And so we're responding to that situation by using this form to reach out to the entire planetary dance community around the world and invite everybody to participate together with us, dancing for justice and peace.